Ah, poisoned by by the liberal
Started a
agenda.
movement.
Oh boy, it must hurt, doesn't it? It must hurt, right? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Reality has a left wing bias. It be like that. It be like that. Hey, look, man. I'm sorry. I understand the pain. It must be tough to be the fucking dumbass that thinks rain like flies upward.
But they don't want us to
All
see
right.
it.
Oh
So
wow, this is gonna be a lot of pausing. No, it's not that we don't want it to be out there. That's why they put it on TikTok in the first place, so people can see it. You fucking cow. You fucking dim-witted piece of shit, bimbo bitch. Fucking dumbass white bitch. Fucking ugly ass fucking bitch. Dumbass piece of shit. Fucking asshole. Garbage ass fucking stupid ass fucking trifling ass bitch. All right, here we go. The moment we've all, well, I've been waiting for at least. Um, it's like about an hour long. This is the interview. You know, the one where Chaya Raichik gave her grand face reveal. And good lord, man. I don't know how much of this shit I can stomach, to be honest with you. Like again, this is like an hour long. Obviously it's fucking Tucker Carlson's ugly ass and Chaya Raichik's ugly ass. So it's gonna be a lot of dumb fuck talking points with these two, you know, using their freedom of speech. Good God, I know for a fact there's going to be a lot of pausing and annoyance and what have you. Which yeah. So with that all being said, I don't even know how how this is gonna go. I've seen clips though. I have seen clips. But Lord, this is gonna be it's gonna be a shit show. This is gonna be a wonderful shit show, a train wreck that I don't know. I think would be entertaining.
Carlson today. So the role of the media in our society is both more straightforward and more complex than anyone admits. It's more straightforward in the sense the media's job is very simple. Figure out what's going on, cover the news, and bring it to your readers or viewers. That's the straightforward part. That's the part they don't do. It's more complex in the following sense. Your whole understanding of reality, all of our understandings of reality, comes through the media. You have no way of knowing what's happening in the world except through the media. And so
He's kind of right here. I don't really have much to object here, but unfortunately, I have a feeling I know where he's gonna go with that with that talking point because he's not entirely wrong in saying that. But I know where he's gonna go with that. I already know. Oh boy, here we go.
it really matters how your media institutions behave. It matters that they're honest, that they cover the real news, things that are actually happening, that they don't filter it before.
Tucker Carlson doesn't cover news. He just posts everything he does is opinion pieces. That's it. Like remember what I said last time about Chai Raichik? What she doesn't just repost shit. She doesn't talk about things that are going on. She tells her audience how to feel about them. Tucker Carlson does the exact same thing in every fucking segment he puts out there. Everything. He's not just giving the news. Like some of the shit that he puts out there, like not everything is like wrong, but like he tells his audience how to interpret and how to feel about his interpretation of what he lays out there. Like he posts a segment about like an instance of a black person committing like a violent crime or whatever. And then he'll implicitly tell his audience that this is a really huge problem in the black community. Look at what these black people are doing. And on top of that, he's also telling his audience to be angry about that. You should be pissed. And I even saw one of these videos, like under Tucker Carlson video, and you know it's implicit too, because there were literal Nazis and white supremacists in the comment section under one of his videos, under one of their Fox News videos in one of his segments, where they're like, they're basically just saying like the typical Nazi shit, where it's just like, yeah, there's some. You see, you see, this is why we should races should be separate. This is why we need to create a white ethno state, or why we need to get rid of all the black people and send them back to Africa. You know, all those dumbass shithead talking points. Same goes with Chaya Raichik with her with her fucking Twitter account and what she does to the trans community. It's all the same shit.
Before it gets to you in order to control what you think. One of the most important
That's what you're doing, Carl
organizations
Tucker.
in the United States right now is not, strictly speaking, a media organization, but it does what they're supposed to do. It does what the New York Times, the Washington Post.
I'm eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich right now. I have not started drawing just yet.
And it brings it to
That's
you.
why you see
and it's a Twitter
nothing
account.
happening on the drawing
It's
now.
called Libs of TikTok. And if you've never heard of it, you've almost certainly seen what Libs of TikTok has gathered, the news they have found and brought to you. Here's a 58-second sample of the kind of information we would not have were it not for Libs of TikTok.
This is fucking stupid. Are you ready to see a machine gun, fucking version of like misinterpreted, and like strategically clipped TikToks from, I guess, quote, liberals on TikTok? Are you ready for that? Are you ready? Don't you like how he framed it too, right? We're like, you would never see this if it wasn't for her. Yes, you would. Yes, the fuck you would. They're public. Like and I like how they how he's talking out of his how they do this talking point. We're just like, you never would have seen this if it weren't for her. But at the same time, oh, all she's doing is just showing you what's there. You would have also found, oh, it's all public stuff. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Here's the reality. All of that stuff that Chaya Raichik posts, they are public and available for you to find. But the thing is, 90% of the time, those are just like smaller accounts that nobody really would give a shit about. If Chaya Raichik hadn't found them, Chaya Raichik and her fucking team of goons hadn't found them and decided to repost them on Twitter and like literally deliberately manipulated her audience into feeling a certain way about them. That's the reality of the situation. That's the reality that we're living in. That's what's really going on.
Hi, my name's Alice and I'm a preschool teacher. Recently we started wearing pronoun pins, and the kids get to pick a new pronoun pin every... We have some that pick like she, her every single day, and we have some that change it up. So I'm a non-binary freak.
Please tell me how that's bad. Please tell me. I don't... They're just fucking pins. First step, pronoun pins. Next step, the child gets a dick in their mouth. That's how that works, right? Is that how pedophilia works? That is how pedophilia and child grooming works, right? Like there's no other method to grooming children or like having molesting children. Pronoun pins is the way to go. Never heard of this tactic before, but okay. Okay. I mean, I don't know about you, but I was under the impression that if you were to like groom a child or have or want to molest a child, you would coerce them into sexual behavior, tell them that oh, there's nothing wrong with doing insert sexual thing here. Oh, this is fine. I know you're 10 years old, but don't worry. We can play with these genitals in this way and it'll feel really, really good. And on and on and on. I wasn't under the impression that that's how that works. I don't know where the pronoun pins plays into that, but hey, that's just me. I don't know.
Preschool teacher, and my kids know I'm non-binary. They know I'm not a girl or a boy. I use they them pronouns in the classroom. We work on it. Not all the kids get it. That's okay. And I go by Mix Gray in the classroom, not Miss or Mister.
Man, y'all thought me.
Wow. I don't. Wow, so bad. I mean, oh god, this literally like whenever children hear like different pronouns, that they instantly just like, burst into flames and die. Right? That's what happens, right? I don't know. Listen, I'm trying to make this stuff make sense. Help me make this make sense, bro. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to make this logical, but even in me trying, it sounds ridiculous. I don't know. Maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe I'm not. I don't. Help me. Somebody's got to know something how this works, right? I mean, they're so sure that this is child grooming. I mean, like they got to explain how this works. Like if they're so sure it's child grooming, they're sure about how this methodology like leads to child sex or whatever or whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's gotta follow logically, right? No, okay, okay, all right. Nobody's got nothing. All right, fine.
Teaching the children about me being poly was crazy. But not only that, but they also know that I'm gender fluid.
I'm going to give you my
Okay.
explanation about what it means to be transgender as well. So when babies are born, the doctor looks at them and they make a guess about whether the baby is a boy or a girl.
Kids as young as 3 and 4
Okay.
are actually aware of their gender identity, even if they don't have the language for it. To say that pre-K through 3rd grade are not ready for such topics is actually internalized homophobia and transphobia.
Okay, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Kids are too young to learn what pronouns are. Fuck. Make that make sense, bro. Kids are too young to understand that people have relationships. Too young for that? Fellas, is it child grooming to see to see little Timmy and to be okay with little Timmy and little Susie holding hands? That too lewd for the classroom? Oh, that's not lewd? Oh. But it is lewd and sexual when little Susie and little Sally hold hands? Very weird. How does that Please explain that to me. How does that work? Both of them have the same genitalia. Why the fuck does that matter? Are you willing to tell little Sally and little Susie that they can't hold hands because of their genitalia? Yeah, please explain that to them. Please tell little Sally and little Susie why. Right? Oh, I'm sorry, Sally, but you can't do that because you need to grow up and give birth.
So those are all teachers, kindergarten, preschool, first, second, third grade teachers. They could be teaching your kids. That's what they're telling your kids in school. Whether you're for it or against it, that's real.
So?
But you wouldn't know that. You would have no idea that was happening unless libs of TikTok pulled those videos off publicly available social media, mostly TikTok.
All right.
You should know that, but the New York Times.
All right. I mean, that's TikTok. Fucking hate TikTok. I'm ready for Tucker Carlson to explain how this is bad and or child grooming or leads to child sexual assault or whatever. I'm ready. Learn me a lesson, Mr. Tucker.
Times is not going to tell you. They're going to hide that from you. The Washington Post, same thing. NBC News, same thing. That's information that you should definitely have, but have never had until libs of TikTok bothered to put it in one place and show you. And for doing that, the person who runs libs of TikTok has been the focus of a lot of hate and many threats. So many that person has remained anonymous until today. Today,
that's not why she
now,
remained
the person who
anonymous.
runs libs of TikTok.
I'm sorry. That's a fucking lie. That the whole thing is a front. She is not terrified of us at all. Like, she has no reason to be terrified of the trans community. Like, zero reason. Like, she just lies out the gate. Like, let's be real. She knows she's lying. Like, everything that she says, she comes right out of her ass. Everything she does, she spins false narratives around every TikTok she comes across. And she's so willing. She's so headstrong. And so confident in how she intentionally maligns the entire LGBT community and literally paints us as child groomers and pedophiles. Every single one of us, all of us, every single one of us. Not one of us is left out of that category. I'm sorry. In their eyes, we're all the same exact thing. We're one giant hive mind creature that thinks the exact same way. And Blair White is one of them. Yep. Yeah, and Blair White is also a pedophile. I mean, she's only just helping them for now, but you know, they think Blair White is a pedophile as well. They do. But no, Chaya Raichik is not scared of us at all. She knows what the fuck she's doing. It's a front to make us look like the bad guys. All we're doing is just typing mean comments on her fucking shit. And we're not even affiliated with the fucking journalists who acted out of her own volition to try and quote dox her, who found her address, which I believe was public information anyway. So I don't know. I don't
Feel who she is. Her name is Chaya Raichik, and she joins us on set. Hi, thank you so much for coming on. I should say, just in the interest of always being as honest as we can be, we've had dinner. We've known each other since this summer. You've come on our show several times behind a screen. And so we're grateful because I sincerely believe, and I think our viewers agree, you performed an invaluable public service in covering the news.
Yeah, covering the news.
Thank you.
So I've got a lot of questions for you, but let me just start with the obvious one. You're revealing your identity right now.
You hear that little, like, sweet little innocent voice that she puts on? It's probably her natural voice, but it's like it lends credence to the idea that she's the sole victim in all of this. This whole thing surrounding the TikTok debacle, like anything regarding this drama or whatever, she's always going to be the victim, and she sells it very well with her innocent sounding voice. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. I know their conservatives are just that dumb. They only care about aesthetics, and aesthetically, she seems like so sweet and innocent. Where it's just like any like action against her will be is you know, and I mean like literally any action, like even like talking shit about her online. Jesus Christ. Just talking shit about her online even is considered like the greatest sin ever, because Chaya is like the sweet little innocent little sweet and innocent little woman, just reposting stuff, just trying to save the world from the trans regime.
Oh, why are you doing that, and why haven't you before?
So, the reality is that I think most Twitter accounts are anonymous to start with, unless you're a public official or a fake.
Unless you have the verification.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah,
Elon changed that. But until Elon changed that, most Twitter accounts start off anonymous, as did mine. And then when my account started growing, I realized the hatred that the left has and their violent nature. And
by the way, her Twitter account, she changed it. She changed the Twitter handle like several different times. Like the first time, I believe, like with the early sign that people could find, it was under her legal name. Like she literally made that account under her legal name. I'll just let you little sponges soak that in.
I was like, I'm going to remain anonymous.
Yes.
As my account was growing and getting more effective. And I have remained anonymous until now. Until I was doxxed. My name was shared. My location was shared. My photo was never shared, though I've never done any in-person events. And I'm choosing to do that now because I feel like over the past few months, I've done so much. I've helped educate people. I know that I have helped create legislation to tackle some of these issues, and I think I've done.
You see that? Yeah. This little this sweet innocent little weak citizen was powerful enough to influence legislation in politics. Yeah.
I can, and I am ready for the next step. I get people asking me, I have mom groups asking me all the time, can you come help us? I get invitations, to help people understand how to expose the left and how to fight it. And being anonymous was sort of keeping me like I was restrained from doing all those things, and I'm ready to do that. I think that I'll be a lot more effective when I'm not so anonymous anymore. And I'm excited. I already have a couple of speaking engagements planned for the next few months.
Good.
And hopefully there will be more, but I want to do all I can, and help people to fight this agenda.
And I'm glad that you are. I think it's an act of bravery.
An act of bravery?
You've had a remarkable effect, and I just want to say, and I'll say this another 10 times.
Okay, let's think about this. How stunning and brave. The worst thing that ever happened to this fucking dumb bitch is that she got approached by a journalist. Yeah, a journalist. Ooh, so scary. And then got mean comments on all of her fucking Twitter posts. All of her fucking dumbass Twitter posts full of lies, manipulation, and deceit. With the intention of killing marginalized groups of people. Yeah, sure.
The interesting part about you, you haven't really editorialized very much. What you've done, essentially, is bring to further light, to publicize what they're already saying in public. That's your crime.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want it to be shown though to certain audiences. They want their content out there, but they don't want us to.
All right. Oh wow, this is gonna be a lot of pausing. No, it's not that we don't want it to be out there. That's why they put it on TikTok in the first place, so people can see it. You fucking cow. You fucking dim-witted piece of shit, bimbo bitch. Fucking dumbass white bitch. Fucking ugly ass fucking bitch. Dumbass piece of shit. Fucking asshole. Garbage ass fucking stupid ass fucking trifling ass bitch. Jesus fucking Christ. That's why people put it on TikTok. It's public. It's not that they don't want people to see it. The thing is, they don't like you fucking misinterpreting it and like coming up with fucking retarded ass lies about it. Jesus fucking Christ, man. How do people listen to this bitch and take her seriously?
It doesn't really add up.
No, it doesn't add up, and they have no valid complaint against you.
Right.
You haven't violated anyone's privacy. You're posting what they put on TikTok.
They're allowed to post it, but we're just not letting notice. The crime is noticing what they're doing.
Yes. That's always the crime.
Okay. I've already explained it. I'm not gonna repeat
thing,
myself.
And unlike so many other people in journalism, and I am gonna, whether you like it or not, describe you as being in journalism because I think you are.
I think I am too.
You've had an effect, a real effect, by bringing this to light. How did you wind up? To the extent you're comfortable sharing it, like, how did you wind up doing this? I assume you went to Columbia Journalism School to become a journalist.
I went to Harvard and Yale. Thank God I didn't know, because those are now obviously, those institutions are all poisoned.
All poisoned by the liberal agenda. Oh boy, it must hurt, doesn't it? It must hurt, right? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Reality has a left-wing bias. It be like that. It be like that. Hey, look, man. I'm sorry. I understand the pain. It must be tough to be the fucking dumbass that thinks rain like flies upward. Meanwhile, all of the quote liberal college institutions are putting out are teaching people that no, in fact, rain falls downwards from the clouds. And when people tell you that, then you start screaming about, oh my God, everything's tainted. Oh my God, everything. Look at all of these colleges have a left wing agenda. They're all biased. Oh, they don't. Oh God, it's all tainted. Listen to what I say. Don't listen to what the colleges tell you. They're all tainted. I know the left says that rain falls downward, but don't worry about it. It falls upward. Listen to me. Listen to Tucker Carlson. It goes up. Rain goes up, right? Must be hard. Must be tough.
Good. I was noticing all of this content that was being published on TikTok, and I was just like, this is crazy.
Wait,
Like,
but what, at this point, you're not in a related field. Like you weren't.
no.
You're not doing anything related to public policy or journalism.
Nothing related to politics, journalism, no. Media,
Were you
nothing.
very political?
No,
Really?
I was not, yeah.
Because COVID was like the other day. This was just a couple years ago.
Yeah, this was 2 years ago.
Like a
well,
what?
my account started 2 years ago, yeah.
That's just incredible that you can have this effect this quickly. So you're not a super political person. You're not watching people's speeches on C-SPAN.
Oh please.
No.
Oh please.
Normal person.
Don't. Oh come on, man. Don't do that. That is a fucking lie from the pits of hell, bro. How? If you're a fan of Libs of TikTok, how do you gonna listen to this and tell me and take that seriously, right? Out of all the things she said, you're gonna tell me that you're gonna agree with that too? She's not a political person, right? No, no, no. Okay, all right. I'll take your word for it.
Stuck inside.
Exactly. And then COVID happened. And I think that COVID, for me, and I think for a lot of people, it really woke people up. And it was like an awakening. Either you can stay like sleeping, not really interested in what's going on in our government, or you can choose to get involved. And I think COVID really drew a lot of people in just because of all of the insanity that was going on.
That's why I'm a
that was
leftist
being
now.
imposed on us.
Dumb bitch.
Our rights were being violated.
Rights?
And I was like,
Oh, she's talking about
that
mask
was
shit.
really, that was really a turning point for me, to get involved and to be interested. And then COVID also is when TikTok started becoming big, because everyone was stuck at home looking for entertainment, and then they stumbled on TikTok, and we started seeing all those videos of nurses, dancing in hospitals during the pandemic. And I was like, TikTok was getting really big, and I was like, oh,
Okay.
let me see what this TikTok thing is all about. And then I stumbled upon this whole platform with
This
with
is her
all-
her
all
super
the
villain
stuff, everyone- I'm
origin story. This is her this is her Joker origin story right here. You heard it here first, folks.
has seen some of the videos. It's just, there's so much more, and I was like, I need to disseminate this. Like it's just so bizarre and dangerous. And I was like,
So
I just need
dangerous.
as many people to see this as possible.
All these
in
pronouns
Russia,
are so
this was the-
dangerous.
There was a lot
Oh.
of adults bragging about sexualizing children.
Yes,
Sexualizing
a
children.
lot.
Wow.
Specifically
Okay.
teachers.
What the fuck?
They're
All right.
also
I'm not even gonna
just
touch it.
parents, activists, doctors. That is the most scary part about it, and that's what my account focuses on a lot now.
So you start to see these things, and how did you decide to take clips from TikTok and put them on Twitter?
It kind of just happened. Like it just clicked. There wasn't there was no plan to become, a big media outlet like what it is now.
Right.
And like to get doxxed. There was no plan for that, or to become to become famous. I never wanted any of that. And
From what I understand, this is a fucking lie. Like she literally like reached far. Like I don't know how she did this on camera. I don't even know if this is appropriate to be on Fox News. This is probably like sexual content. How she literally like right in front of the camera, like reached right up her ass. She just spread her ass cheeks wide open, just shoved her fist all the way in that asshole, and pulled out all these dumbass lies that she just came up with. Like seriously, from what I understand, there was a lot of money behind her. There was also a lot of support behind her. There was a lot of like mainstream like right-wing figures that were like behind her and backing her. So did this whole like thing where it's just like her the way she's talking, she's like just one person not looking to be famous? Not fucking true. None of it is true.
it just started, for fun. And I sort of just kept changing the path of my account, based on what I felt was important.
If I understand correctly, didn't she start like with the I don't know if this is true or not. I think she started like fear mongering about the CRT stuff, right? And then like after the whole drama with that died down, then she like started laser focusing on trans people and pronouns and shit. And like every now and then dipping into a little bit of racism. That's I've seen her portray black people in a not so friendly light still.
And that helped.
Did anyone else? I mean, did you have friends in the media business?
Yes, she
or
did.
Did you have someone advising you?
She did.
Nobody.
Yes, she did.
I was
That's
a
a lie.
total outsider, a complete outsider.
A
And
true outsider.
yes, true. And actually, the person who doxed me said in an interview right afterwards that one of the reasons why she felt she had to investigate was because maybe I was a foreign actor acting on behalf of the Republican Party.
Maybe you were a Russian spy.
Yeah, I probably am. You never know.
You don't seem like it. You don't fit the profile.
Well, maybe that's the
What
trick.
are you talking about? I'm Russian spy.
So
Right here.
I remember reading about this at the time. That they were the people who were trying to expose you. Were very surprised that you had no digital footprint.
Exactly.
You weren't all over the internet. You didn't have a Pinterest
Huh?
account. You didn't have a Facebook.
She had a digital
There were
footprint.
50 pictures of you from your sorority years. Like,
Uh,
who's this person?
Yeah.
Uh,
And I think that actually part of that is why my account actually grew a lot is because people are sick of like the mainstream people, you know, like what we call besides for the
Sorry
media,
about that.
just
Oops.
the whole idea of the swamp, and it's like it's all the same old people, the same media figures, and they're and people are wanted something fresh.
Yeah.
And I am an outsider, and I came in, and there was also a little bit of this mysteriousness, I think, because nobody knew who I was.
But how? But I think I have children roughly your age, and so I know people your age, and I think most people get to their 20s or early 30s or whatever with a lot of evidence of their lives on the internet. They've exposed themselves in one way or another on the internet, and you hadn't.
what? It was
So
literally
by
a
nature,
picture
I'm
of
a
her
very
on
private
Facebook.
person, and I was never into social media. So until my Twitter account, I never really had any social media.
You must be the only one.
What?
I mean, that's very
Possible.
rare, and
Yeah.
it's just interesting.
Why do I
that
not
the
believe
person
that?
who never had social media became this dominant figure in social media?
Yeah, I learned it really quickly, how to navigate.
Which is another
you
reason
know,
why
how
I don't
to-
believe that.
How to do social media and make it grow.
So, and no one taught you how to locate this stuff online or how to promote, how to juice your account on Twitter?
No, I learned it all on the job.
Okay,
What did
two of those things cannot be true. Like okay, if we say that she didn't have any like extra help, like any like backing from prominent right-wing figures or media figures or what have you, then okay, if we say that that's true, then it can also be true that she has no social media experience whatsoever, like zero. Those two things can't be true at all. Like, it's gonna be one or the other or both. It can't be none. I'm sorry. No. That is the most dishonest thing she could ever like spew out of her mouth. Okay, not the most dishonest thing that she could spew out of her mouth. That's one of the most dishonest things she spews out of her mouth.
Friends and family think it is. Did they know what was going on?
So in the beginning, I did tell some friends and family, and then as it grew, I started realizing more that I want to keep it more private.
Yes.
Just because the left is so violent and hateful.
What?
and intolerant.
What? Where? Who's who? What? Oh my god. The left is so like violent? Oh my god. Yeah, dude. Yeah, the Buffalo shooter was the most left-wing motherfucker on the planet. He was super left-wing. Oh my god, the Club Q shooter. Oh, you can't get more left-wing than that. What else do you have? Oh, the people, the BLM riots, the minority, the people that are in the minority who, you know, burn down whole entire cities. Yeah, New York doesn't even exist anymore right now because of BLM. Like we had to take New York off of the map because the entire city got burned down. It's true. This really happened. Look it up.
So, um, so I started, telling less and less people and being much more private about it. Um, but I think, my friends and family were all really supportive, which is really great to have.
Well, yeah, you've done this incredible thing.
My
Last
God,
question about process.
so amazing.
How did you know what would work? Like, how would, in other words, by work, I mean, how did you know what videos that people would be interested in seeing?
It's a really good question.
I don't know. She had help. She had like several people that
So I made
work with her
standards
that
for myself.
hold these. There's no way she herself
Sort of
like
what
found all
I
those videos. I'm sorry. There's no way.
to be important. And I do a lot of vetting for the videos. And I kind of was just tuned
What?
in
What does that
to-
mean, vetting?
How do you vet?
Well, so
When you machine gun
I don't wanna
content
post, like, parody,
constantly.
for example, right? Because although a lot of these videos look like parody,
Yes, they do.
we wish they were parody, but unfortunately they're not.
We get a lot of them across our desk here. Obviously, a lot of the videos.
Jesus Christ! Like
And a couple
what
of times
she's
I've said to
considering
myself
to be
that
just
that
like
just
so
cannot-
out there,
that
or
cannot
like the
actually
clips
be
that
video.
Tucker Carlson decided to put
Yeah,
up.
and then
Like
it is.
what was like really just that like off the wall, out there, insane, crazy. Yeah, man. I just created this new pronoun. I like to be addressed by that. That's it. Yeah. That's pretty much it. My pronoun is they there. Huh. That's different. Yeah. All right then. Thanks, man. You're welcome, bro. That's pretty much it, really. That's just how that, you know, just how these things generally go down. If if we take out moral panic out of the equation, then this is just how things will go down. Yeah, that's so crazy, right? Little Susie and little Sally held hands. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, kids, gay people exist. Wow, okay. Conservatives be like, that is so off the wall. It's crazy. I can't believe it. Jesus Christ.
So do you try and find out who these people are?
Yeah. So that's one thing, is to make sure it's real. So I'll make sure that it's actually a teacher.
And you do that yourself?
Yeah.
Herself, I doubt that.
And I make sure it's not parody. And also I like fresh news, so I make sure it's not something that went viral already. I don't like reposting stuff. It's all when people
She
come
wants
to
to
my
find
account
random
every day,
TikTok
they
accounts that
know
have like 3
they're
followers,
they can scroll
so
through
that her
my feed
audience
and
can
they're gonna
harass
get
them.
a couple pieces of content that they've never seen before. It's all new.
Yeah.
It's all fresh and it's relevant.
Yeah, the 3
and that's what
follower
I
TikTok
try
accounts.
To,
Yep.
To focus my content on.
How do you, so you're your own editorial director, you're your own fact-checking department, you're your own tech support, and you had no background in this whatsoever. You don't come up from a family of journalists. You didn't go to journalism school. You're doing something completely different. You got bored during COVID. Do you think that's kind of amazing?
It is, and some days I'm like, how did this happen?
But you had
Is this
the
real?
natural talents for it.
I guess so. Yeah. I think that when I started it, I was like, oh my
COVID
God,
should have gotten rid of her.
This is exactly what I want to be doing, and I was good at it, and it fills me with a sense of satisfaction, and it's really empowering, and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, I want to be
Leaving aside the politics and all that, and it's hard to take them out, but just for a second, it's so cool to see someone accidentally stumble upon
It's so cool.
like their destiny. I mean, it's cool.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I'm
What?
very grateful. It's a huge blessing. I think there are millions of Americans every day who wake up and go to work and hate
Oh my
their
god,
jobs,
it's such
and
a
they
huge
just don't
blessing
know
that I
what
get to
they're
have
doing
this
in life.
opportunity
And
to kill as
I
many trans people as
feel
I can
every
through
single day I
through
feel so
stochastic
blessed
terrorism.
and grateful
I feel
that
so blessed.
I'm in this position.
I'm so grateful
and
that
I'm
I get to
making a
kill all the
difference,
trannies in
and
the
I
world.
enjoy it.
Oh, I
And I'm
enjoy it.
helping people.
I love
And
helping people understand that they need to kill as many trans people as possible. Sorry, did I say people? I meant parasites. Disgusting parasites. They're bad. And they're gross and bad because they're different. And I don't like different because I'm a fucking weak ass spineless piece of shit that has no life. I'm so blessed. Thank God I get to kill people.
it's incredible.
That's amazing. I feel the same way about my life.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
Oh, it's so
because
good.
you weren't
I
political,
love smelling their
particularly, I mean,
their
it sounds
blood.
like on a gut level, you're conservative, but you weren't involved in politics, and it sounds like you didn't know that much about it. Did you anticipate the response from the left that you got?
Never.
Never.
No. Not in my wildest dreams.
Tell us about the response.
So
Wait, did she say no one in her life
I
is
have been called every single insult in the book.
good?
And they call me hateful.
Yes,
and
you are.
dangerous.
Yes,
and
you are.
harmful.
Yes.
And so just to be very clear, I am not a hateful person.
Yes, you are.
I don't wish harm onto anyone.
Yes, you do.
And I think that the reality is that a lot of the content in the videos
Come
are in
on,
fact
bro.
dangerous
Like she's so
and harmful.
Yes.
And so they are correct in that sense, in that these videos, you have these teachers talking about grooming kids, and the doctors are mutilating kids and sterilizing kids. There's a lot of videos with LGBT activists indoctrinating kids. There's a lot of videos with anti-white racism, and all of these things I think are harmful. Yeah, I agree that.
How are you gonna say all of that and then be like, no, I don't want you to harm. I'm not hateful. I don't wish harm on anyone. Yeah, they're grooming, sterilizing, and mutilating kids, but no, you don't want to wish harm on them. I'm sorry, but those positions are mutually exclusive. They just are. And don't pretend you're like one of these holier than now love the sinner, hate the sin type people, because you didn't give a flying fuck when these hate crimes were happening because of you. Like you never said, "Oh, you like," because a normal person that actually you know is like against this stuff but isn't as hateful as you would be like, "Well, they're wrong, but I can we please not kill them?" Chaya Raichik didn't even bother. When that hate crime happened, the first thing she did was pretend that it wasn't her fault. She only cares about herself. Like, she cares about herself more than she cares to pretend to actually care about other human beings.
They're harmful. So it is very telling when they call me harmful, when I'm sharing their own content with barely any editorial aspect.
I guess
Well,
that's not
there's
true.
no
You tell them how
editorial aspect in the
to
video
feel
itself.
about
You're
it.
not editing their videos.
Right.
You
You'd be in
manipulate.
court right now if you were doing that.
Right.
And just for our viewers who haven't followed this, and I think most of them have at this point, but for those who haven't, you characterize this as harmful content in the truest sense. It harms people.
How?
And I just want to put a couple examples really quick up on the screen so they know what you're talking
Ready
about.
for these examples again. I'm
Obviously,
ready.
the question becomes then, when misinformation, disinformation is being spread, when hate and threats are being spread, where are the social media companies? What's YouTube doing? What's Twitter doing? And of course, then you have the reaction to that. Oh, this is big tech silencing people. It always becomes a debate about free speech, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You know, last week Twitter suspended Libs of TikTok, specifically for the policy against the promotion of threats, violence, and harassment. So great job, right? But it's been 7 days and Libs of TikTok is back now, and they're tweeting right this very minute, this is violence, this is harassment. It's clear what these accounts are doing.
That's was
it?
a reaction to what you were.
That's it? Wait, didn't earlier they say that like this was like an example of a dangerous thing? I forgot how they described that clip. That I was expecting like something completely okay. All right.
We're doing so. That's Brandy Zadrozny, who is a political activist working on behalf of the Biden administration.
They all are in the media. Yeah.
They all are. Describing you as someone who's committing violence. So tell us what we just saw, if you would.
Well, one thing that I noticed in the video is she says that I was suspended for hateful conduct, which is really interesting because the Twitter files actually just revealed that the Twitter employees admitted that I never violated their policies. So they were trying to
Yes, you did.
They didn't
Oh
want
my
me to
god,
be
you
employed.
okay, she's a fucking liar. Okay, she was like deliberately being protected by Twitter. Like deliberately. Like they had like this little thing over her account like do not interact with this account unless given full authority that you have unless being authorized to do so. Essentially, that's what it said. Because she broke TOS with all of her hateful conduct. She did. She pulled random like 3-follower Twitter, like not Twitter account, TikTok accounts, framed them all, every single one of them, as pedophiles and groomers, and basically just incited hate and violence, and even caused a bomb threat to hit the Boston Children's Hospital that wasn't performing bottom surgery on children, like nobody underage, like at all. Even though Libs of TikTok, Chaya Raichik said that they were performing surgery on children, even though they weren't. Like she literally lied. And the result of that was people got pissed and decided to threaten that children's hospital, like negatively affecting a lot of people. They had to evacuate a lot of people. A lot of things canceled. A lot of people missed appointments. A lot of horrible consequences that came about from that. Nah, definitely not hateful conduct. None of it was hateful conduct. Nope, none of it was. Nope. Yeah, lying, deceitful piece of shit. But none of it's hateful conduct. Sure.
But I never actually violated policies. So
yes, you did.
I'm not hateful. The content, the stuff I post, it's not. It's not hateful. And
yes, it is.
They're saying that
she had to pause. You see how dishonest she is, bro? How do you see? She like it's just not hateful. It's just listen to what I say. It's just not hateful. Don't think too hard about it. It's just not hateful. It's not hateful, guys. It's not hateful, guys.
And they're scared because this is their own views, their own opinions. I mean, this is what they stand for, and I'm just showing people.
Stand for what?
And they run away the last day because they don't like it.
You're turning the lights on.
Exactly. They're like
who's running away?
But what's so interesting is that Brandy said Drozny, who's not a journalist, obviously, but does pretend to be one. And as long as you're pretending to be a journalist, it's kind of hard to argue against disclosure and openness. Like, on what grounds could she plausibly argue as an NBC News employee you shouldn't be allowed to air videos that already played on TikTok? Like, how is that a crime?
Right. Well, because she's not.
No one said that you can't do that. The problem is you literally sending bullying and harassment their way.
However,
and potential violence as well.
News organization, and you're home in your kitchen on the internet, alone, doing all the work yourself. And with her is the Biden administration and the FBI and various intel agencies and the big social media conglomerates. So you're kind of outnumbered. Did you feel that way?
What?
Yes, all the time. I have all of
How
everything
was
you
she
just
outnumbered when
mentioned,
she
all
had
the
all of
media,
these
but
right-wing figures
you know,
backing her?
Washington Post,
Elon Musk
CNBC,
literally,
all
like,
of
under
them,
her desk, just
the
licking her
leftist
fucking
accounts.
cunt. Just under her desk, licking her fucking cunt all the time. He literally just reinstated her account just to appease her, and it makes him feel good. Like, even before her account got as big as it is now. Like, it was pretty big back then. She talked to Tucker Carlson twice. A big mainstream media guy. All of these eyes on her. So many right-wingers behind her, backing her and supporting her. But no, she was outnumbered.
Obviously, like, they're all working together, and then I'm just one person. I don't have.
I'm
a whole
just
staff
one
behind
person.
me.
I don't have a whole
millions of
staff
dollars
behind me.
me. Like
I
any
know I'm on Fox
reporter
News
at
and
Washington Post,
mainstream
for
media,
example.
but I'm
and
just a tiny defenseless little white woman. I'm just trying to protect the kids. Ooh, where help me? I'm defenseless. The left is trying to kill me.
Cry, please. No, I can't. This is the lies, the deceit is so obvious to anybody with more than 2 brain cells.
And I think that actually might be part of the reason why they are so threatened by me.
Yes.
Is because, well, first of all,
Because you lie, that's
I think
why.
they're a little bit jealous.
Yeah.
Huh?
Because I am much more relevant and effective than they are. And these people have
What?
so much
What? She just lies. You could just say anything. She's weak and strong at the same time. What? The people that support her will just buy anything that'll justify their undying love for her. They will accept anything. Yeah, dude, you're just one person. You don't have support, like ain't no one backing you, nothing like that. But at the same time, you're more relevant? Okay, Rice Scum. Alright. No, fine. Sure. Yeah, I'll just blindly accept those 2 things to be true at the exact same time. Yep.
resources behind them, and they're not actually doing real journalism or reporting, right? They're just activists, and
What?
so I think they're a little bit jealous.
Yeah, they're so jealous.
And they're threatened because I'm just one person, and
Dude!
I'm doing.
She's doing it! Again! She switches back and forth!
Stand to see it.
She switches back and forth between she Lord. Oh no. Nope. Uh-uh. Yep. Yeah, dude. No, that's perfectly fine. Oh, that's cool. That's okay with me. Yeah, man. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Oh, they can't. So the Washington Post, which is owned by one of the richest men in the world, Jeff Bezos, who sells plastic Chinese stuff to the United States, sent a reporter after, like literally after you. Her name is what, and she did what? If you could fill in those blanks.
So her name is Taylor Lorenz, also known as Tay Tay.
Tay Tay.
Tay Tay, that's her name.
What?
And who calls her that?
So I call her that, and I made it up. And my goal is that people start referring to her as that, and it's catching on. I saw it printed. I forget which news outlet printed it, like Tay Tay, and I was like, oh my god, like this is my dream.
Because you understand something that most conservatives don't, which is when you control the language, you control the conversation.
Oh, no,
when
she
you
knows that
refer to her
perfectly.
next-
Oh. Couldn't have said it better myself, Tucker. Couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, that is on display in this conversation right now. I got nothing. What more is there to say? What can I add to this? It speaks for itself. Really, it does.
If you say Tay Tay, then my mission will be totally complete.
Absolutely done. Done. So you
I'm
have
very excited.
this reporter of privilege, Tay Tay Lorenz of the Washington Post. Now, what picture? Let's keep that on the screen. What are we looking at there?
So that is Taylor Lorenz at one of my relatives' homes.
Now, why would she be at a relative's home?
She's a journalist.
So she decided that she was going to dox me.
Dox you?
I had been totally anonymous until then. This was in April, this past April.
Now, is that relative's home in a city that Taylor Lorenz lives in?
That's in LA, yeah.
She doesn't live in LA, does she?
She does.
She does, okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
I would like to know what she means by doxing.
Went to your relative's home in LA?
Yes, not just one, a few.
A few?
Yes. Anyone who shared my last name.
Really?
Yeah.
You shared your last name. Your Twitter handle was under your
photo. So she showed up. She wanted to dox me, to share
dox you?
My identity. Which, as we all know, she did.
Okay. You know what she's saying is doxing is just showing her face. Showing Chaya Raichik's face is doxing. Let it be known, kids. Any YouTuber that has never showed their face ever, and then they decided to do a random face reveal, they're doxing themselves. Because that's what that means, right? Learning first and last name and showing face. That is what doxing is.
I think, you know, a silver lining to all of that, I think, is right here. Like, this is like where we are right now. My following and my influence increased.
Don't you think it's interesting though that like everything Chaya Raichik has done, everybody that she has targeted, there were bomb threats, there were hate crimes, there was even like you know at the lower end of that was just a lot of cyberbullying, I wouldn't be surprised if like one of these teachers like committed suicide from the severe amount of harassment they got. But the worst that ever happened to Chaya Raichik was a journalist walked up to her mom's house to talk. Like, her address was out there. Like, her name was out there. Like, all of this was known well enough to the point where a journalist could find it. Like, just some random fucking journalist could find it and walk up to the house to interview or whatever. There was no bomb threats sent there, were there? There was no, like, there was no masked killer attempting to try and shoot up the place or whatever. Oh, Chaya's address was even, like, put out, I guess, doxed. I'll say it. It was doxed. Whatever. Her address was doxed, but nothing happened there, did it? No bomb threats, no shooting, no nothing, right? Okay.
Tremendously after the doxing. I'm here now with you, and after this, I'm gonna be going and sharing more and doing more of what I can to combat them. But at the time, I mean, obviously the doxing was extremely stressful, chaotic,
stressful.
Scary.
Yeah, think about the people that got shot up and wounded and had their friends killed and significant others killed in Club Q.
Matter of justified.
All the children that missed their appointments because of bomb threats. So cool, right? Yeah, but you're the one that's stressed.
She could write stories about what you've done and disagree with it or whatever. Why was it so important for her to learn your identity and to reveal it when most of the internet is anonymous?
Well,
because you're a major figure that incites violence against marginalized groups, that's why.
My account is very influential and effective. I mean, we've got
that's honestly, I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this. All right, are you ready for this? Are you ready for my hot take? If you're a social media figure and you get to the point where you're powerful enough to influence real life politics, like influence legislation that affects people's lives and also influences violence or any like kind of real life consequences in any fashion, you don't deserve to have the benefit of anonymity. You don't. You no longer have that right anymore. That is my opinion. You can say there's a hot take if you wanted to, but whatever. I don't care. You do not have that anymore. Once you get that powerful, anonymity must be stripped from you forever.
About bad teachers who are grooming kids. We've gotten a handful of drag shows
Grooming
canceled.
kids, Jesus. True.
I know, like, DeSantis' team told me that the content that I found helped with the parental rights and education bill. It helped inspire that. And I heard from other legislators stuff along those lines as well. So I know that it was really having an effect, and they were scared.
But
and
she could write about that, which would be news.
Yeah.
You know, hey, this Twitter account is having an effect on public policy. That's a fair story, I would say. But she wanted to reveal your identity, which you wanted to keep secret. It sounds like...
To silence me.
That's what it sounds
To
like.
silence. Well, you're doing it now, though.
I think they
so clearly you think there will be no consequences to your identity being revealed in any fashion if you're so willing to do it now. Clearly you don't care because you were powerful enough before to where it doesn't matter to you, and you're even more powerful than you were before.
Thought that that's what happened. I would just get scared, and I also had a few days of warning before the doxing, so I knew it was going to happen.
How did you have warning?
She was harassing me. She was calling me on my phone for 2 days endlessly, like calling me, texting me, reaching.
If that's the case, I don't care. She deserves it. I really don't care. I don't care.
Out to relatives too, whoever's number and email she can get her hands on who shared my last name. And I feel like there was a point where I could have answered her and been like, you know what, I'll just delete my account and forget this whole thing. And maybe that's what they were hoping for.
Yeah.
But
that's a lie.
What's your...
She's so passionately on board with this shit. She never even considered it. She loves this.
Tay Lorenz. What's she like? What do you think drives her?
I think that she's extremely toxic. She's an elitist.
An elitist? What the fuck?
She's an activist, really. She's not a reporter, and you know.
All right. Yeah. To a right winger, I want to let you know. To anybody on the right, being an activist is an inherently bad thing. Being an activist is morally wrong.
And this is one of the most common questions: is if you could say one thing to Taylor, what would it be? Or if you can ask her one question. And I thought about this so much, and I was never sure how to answer the question, and I thought about it a lot. And then I realized the answer is, I don't want to talk to her. She's a bad person, and she's toxic.
A bad person, and she's toxic.
We disagree on everything. We have nothing in common. She's not a person I ever want to be in the same room with. Yes. I never want to be in her presence. So There's my answer. I don't want to talk to her.
Wow.
But she did want to talk to you.
Yes.
So what's interesting...
So persecuted.
There's a very recognizable personality type.
I don't want to talk to this woman.
And that's
how dare she challenge my powers?
She punches you in the face and then cries
trying
about how
to
you're
kill trans
her.
people.
And we actually have her on tape doing this. This is from January on MSNBC.
Oh, that's a great video.
Taylor Lorenz talking about the experience of people disagreeing with her and how it's violence. Watch this.
Trolls live everywhere. Can you just explain what it's like? Can you draw a picture of what it is like when a surge of harassment hits?
It's horrifying, and it's not just me either. You know, they immediately dox you and go after your family members. They try and look up everyone who's ever, been associated with you. And it's just completely overwhelming and terrifying.
That's literally exactly what you did to me. Exactly.
So let's put the picture on the screen because we can't resist. We got to drive the point home. Speaking of hassling people's relatives, again, this is that same person. She's got the mask on so you can't see her face at the home of your relative. So you wonder.
Look at how threatening she is.
At
So
least 2
scary.
masks. She looks like an armed robber to me, but maybe I'm old-fashioned. But how could you say something like that on television, knowing that you just done the very same thing yourself?
Well, because she's a hypocrite, and
right.
she's extremely dishonest.
He's a journalist. Okay.
There wasn't just that clip. There was another clip where I don't know if we're gonna play it, but where she was crying, actual tears. Actually, I think they might have been fake, but she was crying on MSNBC about
Might have been
being
fake.
doxxed.
I want to malign her character
And it's
even
just,
more.
It's unreal that this same person who just said that in that clip that we just watched, and all these other clips. I mean,
Okay.
we're all
Now
floating
you've gotten our expectations up high. Our producer Alex McCaskill in the control room has just said with some enthusiasm, "We've got that clip."
Yes, of course.
Here it is.
I've had to remove every single social tie. I had severe PTSD from this. I contemplated suicide. It got really bad. You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating. And terrifying. It's horrifying. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna say this. I don't know, I know little to nothing about what Taylor Lorenz went through. I don't know if it's true or not. To be honest, I don't care enough. I care more about the people that Chaya Raichik is harming. Listen. Taylor Lorenz may be great and all, whatever. She might be lying, or I really don't know. That's not my concern. I don't care if she went through the exact same things Chaya Raichik went through. Not a concern of mine. My concern is I don't know, life and death.
It's overwhelming. It's really hard.
You really feel. I know this is not true because I'm a believer in God, but you really feel watching no one in that clip has a soul.
Tucker Carlson is not a Christian. He's not a Christian.
So
I'm sorry, he's
it's
not.
like hard to believe.
She cracks a little smile when she covers her face. I don't know if you could catch that, but yeah, it's incredible that person who just said that in those 2 clips is the same person who came and doxed me. Show it to my relatives.
Came and doxed me.
Harassing anyone with my last name, and then she goes and says those things. It's just like
Lived a TikTok inciting violence and causing violence, and the most important thing to her, she's so stuck on this doxing thing because that's the best weapon she has to make herself look like a victim. That is her best weapon she has. She will never stop talking about this quote doxing thing because that's the only thing that she's somewhat a victim of is the whole doxing thing. So she'll never get off that ever. She will weaponize that she will shoot all trans people in the back of the head and still say that she's a victim of doxing. She will still use doxing as a weapon. I was doxed. Bam! Points a fucking rocket launcher at another drag queen show. It's okay, guys. Chaya, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Guys, it's okay. I was doxed. Everyone dies. But it's okay, she was doxed, guys.
Think Taylor Lorenz would be upset by it?
I don't think she'd be upset. I don't think it would bother her at all. And it's not hypothetical. I have had people show up to my house. I've had I moved actually.
Did they have guns?
My address is being posted everywhere. We've had people sending pizzas. That's the telltale sign.
Oh my god, it's so scary. She got pizzas sent to her house.
That they know where you live. So we've had pizza orders come, people coming outside screaming in front of my home.
Protesters, so scary.
And I moved out of LA.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, I picked up.
So I was going to make.
Welcome to being a politician,
Chaya.
That's what being a politician is. Deal with it.
What's happening to you does sound like it could rattle you. I mean, do you feel? I'd be rattled by it, I think.
I know Chaya's not legitimately a politician, but
the security issues.
In effect, she kind of is. Like in practice, she basically is. She has so much influence to the point where she might as well be, right?
I think I've taken care of that the best I can. But as far as being rattled by the hatred that I got from the media, from Taylor Lorenz, from the other media, from the left in general. I view it as it's kind of just noise. So I think that once you have a basic understanding that these people, no matter what you do, they're going to twist your words. They're going to call you all kinds of names, and I kind of just tune it out, and I'm like, this is just noise. These are actors. They're bad actors, and
they're all bad actors. I mean, I know they're screaming at me because I'm getting them killed and everything, but yeah.
And you mean that, like deep.
Yeah,
when you go to bed
I'm
at
really
night,
going
are
through
you
something
able to clear
tough
your
here.
head and sleep soundly?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So in other words, you can spend
This is
all day
cryboarding,
for
by
2
the way.
years in the internet at the very white hot center of our political debate and still sleep soundly.
Yes. I sleep
Well, you're
soundly.
doing it right then. You're
Thank
doing
you.
it right. I'm impressed. I don't think most people can do that.
Look at how she's
it
framing
takes-
this shit.
It takes
Like,
a lot of work.
like she's talking about it like she needs to motivate herself. Like all the odds are stacked against her, even though they really weren't. Like, not even a little bit.
And I think that if you speak to anyone in the media, everyone probably has their own way that they deal with all of the backlash and hatred that they get from the opposite side.
You're just being exposed to ugly things all day.
Yeah.
I mean, just finding the videos that you do.
Yeah.
Can't be good for you.
No, I'll admit sometimes it takes a toll, and I'll take a day off. I'll just one day I'm like, I'm just not gonna open Twitter.
Man, it is hard inciting
I've done
violence
that
against
about
minorities.
times over the past 2 years.
It's really hard
I
influencing
think
bomb
it's
threats
important
and mass
to-
shootings against
to have the
minorities.
support of
Man, this
family
really
and
sucks.
friends,
I need to take a break.
the
My life,
support of other
my life
people in
is
the
so
business.
hard.
So,
Yes.
I appreciate your support a lot.
Oh, it's heartfelt.
My life is so hard
many
being
others,
protested against for all the violence I'm causing.
And I think to
Everything
figure
sucks
out,
so much. My
sort
life
of
is
like
so
a
hard when there are
strategy of
protesters
how
outside of
you're
my
gonna
house
deal
telling me to stop.
with
There's
all of-
my life is so
with
hard
all
when
the hatred is really
scary
what
journalists try to
I
talk
think
to me and my mom.
I think I nailed that down.
Everything is so
I
hard.
mean, I think this may apply to
Imagine
anybody
being
who
me,
pays close
guys.
attention to
It's
the
so
news, even
hard.
people who watch this show, it gets in your head and it's sad. And so, do you have any advice on how to stay sane in a crazy moment like this?
Yeah, I think I do get a lot of comments from people saying, this account, it's funny and it's entertaining and it's effective, but it's so depressing.
Yeah.
And it's just.
I've heard a similar critique in my line of work, yes.
It's just disturbing and it's dark.
Yeah.
And I think just to constantly remember that this is the best way to expose them. It's using their own words.
Yes.
And it's just holding up a mirror to them. It is the number one way. So
That's
the
not
more we
all
do
she
that,
does.
I
That's
think
not
the faster
I've
we're
already
gonna
explained how
see
dishonest
things
she is
change,
already.
and then maybe there will end up being less of that content.
Yes.
Like I always say, if my account becomes irrelevant because we don't have the content anymore, that's great. That's a win for me. I want that to happen. I don't want there to be teachers bragging about grooming kids. I don't want there to be hospitals.
Look at this framing, bro.
Transing kids.
Bragging about grooming. They're just
And
talking
if we don't
about
have
like
any of that,
positive
I have no content,
experiences.
that's great.
With,
I would
like
love for that to happen.
pronouns and
you mean
that's
Yes,
it. Pronouns,
100%, yeah.
basically,
I gotta
and
ask
identity.
you, since you've spent the last couple of years deeply involved in TikTok, watching TikTok, what do you make of TikTok?
Well, I mean, we all know the security issues with it, the Chinese spyware, and I know that some legislators are trying to ban it. I think it would be great if TikTok is banned in the US. It will do us a big public service. I think TikTok really attracts narcissists. It's people who want to see themselves all day.
That's
and
just
talk about
social.
themselves,
Wait,
and
well,
TikTok is a
not
great
even
platform
really
for
that.
for them to do that.
Like it attracts narcissists, but
But
that's
I
not all
think-
it
I've never
does.
actually
It's
been
social
on
media.
TikTok, but it is.
That's good. You shouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
I'll do it for you.
I'm too old. But no, I've never seen.
Social
TikTok in my
media
life, except
attracts all
on-
kinds
in
of
the
people.
Clips that we play
Yeah.
from you, but it really is a vehicle for vanity and narcissism.
Yes, and specifically, like in our culture, it's a vehicle for indoctrinating kids. So
Jesus Christ.
TikTok
Okay.
really targets kids.
Indoctrinating
and
kids
there's
into
a lot
what?
of this type of content, and And that's why also it's really important to show people what is happening on TikTok. That's part of what I do. It's like, if you let your kids have TikTok, this is what they're being exposed to. You know, there's
What
activists,
pronouns and that gay people exist,
saying all
and that
kinds
being
of
gay isn't
nonsense,
wrong or sinful.
trying
So
to
dangerous.
to change our culture, and obviously like a lot of the grooming stuff. I see a lot of that on TikTok.
Well, since it's controlled
Grooming.
by
Okay.
the Communist Party of China, I mean, why wouldn't this be an effort to destroy the country's culture?
Exactly. Yeah.
Destroy the
Does
culture.
it feel that? I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it.
If
Does it
anything,
feel
we're
that way
improving
when
it,
when
but
you look at
okay.
it?
Yes.
Someone's thinking through like, what's the most sophisticated poison we can inject into the bloodstream?
Yes, and I think your show did a segment on the difference between the Chinese TikTok and the U.S. TikTok, and
What?
you can't even compare. They're like, theirs is educational. They're teaching you all kinds of like.
Get up
I love
early
how
in
they
your car.
stroke
Yeah,
off
exactly.
China
And
whenever
ours
it
is like,
fits their
let's talk
narrative.
about me and my identity.
Let's talk about my
So?
ghost self
What's wrong with
pronouns.
talking about identity?
Like, this is what they're giving our kids, but for them, they're teaching them how to like build homes or something.
They're calling this dangerous child grooming, but they're laughing about
No,
this
I'm
thing that they
laughing
call
'cause it's
child
so-
grooming.
Yes, it's so
Oh, look at
obvious.
how funny
I
it
just
is.
wanted to hear from
Also,
somebody
it's
who actually
dangerous
knows
in grooming your
what they
children.
do.
Yeah. I think, you know, people ask me, am I nervous about banning TikTok? Because a lot of people are discussing that now, and they're banning it maybe for a government officials. Some states have banned it already, and I'm not worried about them banning it because, number one, I have an arsenal of videos. Like, I have a lot that have never been posted yet. So I have a lot to go for a while. Number two...
And do you save them on a different server? I mean, do you download them so you have
I download them, yeah. I have half of my content now is TikTok. The other half is other things, and a lot of the other things are really important too. And I'm happy to focus on those if we don't have TikTok anymore. I also post a lot of Instagram Reels, which is very similar to TikTok. Instagram was trying to copy TikTok, so they have these Reels where people do very similar things. A lot of actually the big TikTok accounts are doing the exact same thing on Instagram, the same videos. So I can always take videos from there. There's YouTube. There's so many places to get content from.
You'll find
So
people talking
I'm not
about, you know,
really too
just
worried
trans
about
stuff
TikTok being
anywhere
banned
on
if it
social media.
happens.
It sounds like, in hearing you describe it, that there's
Jesus
a whole
Christ.
separate universe that maybe 53-year-old conservatives like me are not privy to, but there's a whole world where the activist neoliberal left communicates with itself.
Yes, it's social media, yeah, through influencers.
What?
And I think
That's how anybody communicates. That's how right wingers do that
I
too.
wonder if the conservatives.
Why are you framing it as like this special thing that we do?
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's like you see again when I say that everything that Liz TikTok posts on her account is not isolated, it's true. They're all supposed to be like the same conglomerate interconnecting regime. And like the way she's talking about it here, man, this is how there's so many media influencers and all of them on social media and everything. They're all interconnected together like a network. He's framing it that way, like we're all one giant conglomerate in a movement, and like literally like one monolithic movement, all with the same exact goal to take over the United States or whatever. But he's acting like the right doesn't do the same thing when in regards to social media interaction and influencers online, like shouting their talking points for them. But even I'm not going to sit here and say that that's like an example of one gigantic monolithic regime. Because it's really not. Like, if anything is like a quote regime, it's just the Republican Party. And there are useful idiots, individual idiots that are back behind that shit. And social media influencers that like live to TikTok that are just completely on board with it and also got influenced by it. And, you know, just doing her own thing and promoting this garbage.
Fox News, I love Fox News, and I'm grateful that it exists, of course. And I spend my whole life making fun of Ben Collins on NBC or that.
Well, not NBC anymore. He was fired, right?
Oh, that's so great. I didn't know that.
Really?
But that's.
Or he was or temporarily suspended. Yeah, last
We'll
week.
just go back to work at the CIA and everything will be fine.
Yeah, exactly. They're all interconnected.
Oh, I've noticed. Yeah, or whatever that Stelter kid used to be unseen and
We're all a
whatever.
hive
We
mind.
get very focused on what's happening in legacy media as if it has influence. But I hear you talk, and I'm thinking like maybe we should. I've never been on TikTok, and I cover the news, so maybe we're looking in the wrong places.
Well, I think it's just growing with the times, you know, like keeping up. So I think conservatives, well, TikTok is separate from other social medias because TikTok is Chinese spyware. But all the other social media channels like Instagram, the Democrats, they use it so well with their influence on it and influencers and their activism. And I think conservatives should also, you know, Instagram isn't going away.
Nigga, they
TikTok,
do.
My Instagram isn't, and other social channels. So I think they should try to target that younger audience that's on these social channels.
They already do.
And again, you would know the answer to this. Is anyone doing that?
Yes.
Not really.
Yes.
It's definitely not as good as the Democrats are doing it.
What?
Not
And
as much.
you see what is
The
obvious
Democrat.
to you. Probably
No, we
from
don't
afar.
work for the Democrats. You don't. Okay. See, again, she's trying to paint it all as one giant regime conglomerate thing. So, if you're on the left, hell, if you're even like a lib left, we hate Democrats, especially if you're as far left as me. I fucking hate the Democrats. But I'm gonna have to use them in order to protect this country from the Republican Party. She's acting like all of this is like the Democrats like moving in and barking orders at their lower level imps and telling them what to post on social media. So dumb.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
And you see none from the other side.
No.
Lies.
Well, I'm embarrassed even to say this out loud because it's all so obvious, but that seems like a huge problem.
It is a huge problem, and I know that conservatives discuss this. They know it's a problem, and I've heard people discuss.
It's so dumb because there's so many people like at young ages that got pulled to the right because of people on social media.
The stupid party versus the evil party.
Exactly.
Especially with the whole
I don't wanna
Gamergate
cause any-
thing.
No,
Like
I
that
mean,
was
but
a
it's
really huge
true.
thing that moved people
And
to
I'm
the right, and that was on
obviously
social
It
media.
bothers me a lot because like I'm on social media a lot, like TikTok and Instagram, and I wish conservatives just learned to embrace it and to use it to our advantage.
Yeah.
They
It's a little
do.
bit like
You see,
voting.
she's lying. She knows she's lying because she's trying to paint it like the conservatives are the weak ones. They're the disenfranchised ones. They're the ones that have all the odds stacked against their favor. She needs her audience to pretend that that's a reality, so they can feel more emboldened to fight the left even harder.
Rules. I'm completely against drop boxes and early voting. On the other hand, they're the law, and I'm not in charge of the law. So if those are the rules, then why don't you just play by that and adapt?
Exactly. And a lot of people were saying that after the midterms just now.
It seems like an obvious
exactly.
conclusion.
And I hope that they do something. I hope so.
Not just whine?
No, exactly.
Not just whine. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I personally prefer whining because it's just easier.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Tucker Carlson. They
Right.
do whine a
Well,
lot.
right.
And the funny thing is, their whining is what influences politics.
You're right.
Really, it does. It works. Whining works.
No, that's insightful and true. So I want to play. We played this in the nighttime show, but I didn't until you came to our studio today. Realize that this was you on the tape, and I should have known that since I knew that you didn't have like a giant staff or anything.
Yeah.
So this is a call that you did to Children's National Hospital, and when you started surfacing these videos, one of the complaints against you was they're fake, or this isn't really, this is made up. Like no one's sterilizing, no one's performing hysterectomies on little girls or mastectomies or sterilizing little boys. Like you're just making this up. You're the weirdo.
Sterilizing?
And so
they're really
you,
not. I'm sorry, they're not.
interactive
People who blockers
country
don't
did
sterilize
got on the
children. They
phone
don't.
With Children's National Hospital and just asked the question. And here's what happened.
I just want to know if you guys do service that age, before coming all the way for an in-person consult and going through all the paperwork and everything?
Yeah, it depends. Each department is different. Some departments cut off for 18. How old is your patient?
16.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
They're in the clear.
So they would do it for that age?
Yes.
Okay, great. Is it?
If she had said like 8 or 10, how much you want to bet they would have said no? She chose 16 for a reason. Because it's still like legally underage, but it's still old enough to be eligible for whatever procedure they're talking about. I don't think they specified what procedure it was, did they?
A common procedure that you guys do for that age?
Yes, we have all different type of age groups that comes in for that.
For the hysterectomy?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, a hysterectomy?
My jaw
What?
is open. The whole time I'm thinking, well, maybe she misunderstands you.
Wait, hold up. I'm sorry. Give me a second. What the fuck? I looked into it, and I looked at the website, and yeah, the cutoff was 18. I don't know. The way I see it is I think those employees that she talked to were stupid and fucked up, which happens. But I know all the conspiracy theory shouting right wingers are gonna be like, oh, they're only doing that to save face. So there's no getting through that one. So yeah, whatever. They did a fuck up. The website does not say anything about like 16-year-olds being eligible for that procedure. The one procedure that I found that people can get are breast reduction surgeries, which there's no real harm that comes from that at all. Like, they don't really do anything for you. They're just balls of fat on your chest. They're just breasts. Like, even if you do get that at 15 and then you find out later on that you were never trans or whatever, you'll be fine. Women with small tits are valid. There's no like real value in big booba.
Understands you for that procedure. It's oblique, and then you just come out and say for the hysterectomy.
Yeah, I clarified it like 5 times. I gave them a chance to be like, no, we don't do that, but they do. I mean, they do it.
They don't.
And the reason why I did that recording was because this was right after some of the reporting about Boston Children's Hospital. And what happened with that is all of the media came out and started saying, you're lying. It's not true. They're not actually doing this to kids. And I took a big grunt of all of that, hatred from the media and that reporting about me. And in a way, I was like, I felt like I kind of had to like clear my name a bit, I'm like, I need to prove that they're doing it on kids. I want to get someone to tell me directly, straight up, yes, we're going to do this on kids. So that's why I got the inspiration to call and ask. Like, how else do you find out information? Just call and ask.
It's called reporting.
Yeah. So I just called and asked, and I didn't know what to expect. I recorded the call, and I didn't know what was going to happen, and then they just straight up admitted it.
But I guess what I found so compelling, so shocking.
Can you imagine if she had said 10 years old instead of 16? I have a feeling they definitely would have said no. Hell, even 8 years old, they would have said no.
I don't care.
I mean, 16. In my opinion, is a little bit passable.
For no medically necessary
a little.
Reason?
And
I mean,
younger
it's.
kids, she said, and younger kids.
I mean, you're on that line, but you know what I mean. To me, it's eligible enough, but not.
What do you think this?
Quite as eligible as 18.
I mean, I assume the person who said that is not like a serial killer or obviously evil person, but that's so evil. What is going on here? Do you have any theories?
I think there's something so unique about the LGBTQ community. Has become this cult, and it's so captivating, and it pulls people in so strongly.
Here's the clip right here. The cult, right?
And they brainwash people to join, and they convince them of all of these things.
How?
And it's really, really.
I really hate that they get away with these dumbass talking points. How? Can you please demonstrate how this works? Because if you're gonna call it a cult, you better have evidence of that, right? Because a cult If anything's a cult, it's religion, to be honest with you. Because of what a cult does, it pulls you in. It tells you that everything outside of it tells you not to think about anything dogmatically except what we say, which is what Christianity does. Don't think too hard about any opposition. Don't even don't go outside of what you're supposed to be. Because the way she's framing it is like it's a cult that forces people to be trans, which doesn't happen. Generally, we're okay with people not being trans, and detransitioners, we're okay with them as long as they're not trying to like use their experience to say that the entire trans community is wrong. Like the entire trans community is generally accepting. We don't like people who bully us for who we are. That's literally it. That's not a cult mentality. That's a please stop bullying me mentality. No, she's not gonna demonstrate what aspects of the queer community is cult like because she doesn't know what a cult is.
Studies on this, like there's been a lot of reporting on this about people, parents who are like, my child is starting to say, that they're non-binary or transgender or whatever, and what do I do? How do I stop this?
How do I stop this? There's nothing to stop because what's wrong with being I don't know if there's any like data on this, but from what I understand, most non-binary people that I encounter don't even do any like surgery. They don't even medically transition. They just identify as non-binary and then go on about their lives and have new pronouns, like different pronouns. Please explain to me what about that is like cult-like.
Really difficult. It's unlike anything we've ever seen. I think it's extremely poisonous.
But what parents are looking at is like the destruction of their own children, the destruction of their own family line, which like 20 minutes ago we used to admit was like a very basic thing you would want. Grandchildren, that's not weird to want that. That's a human desire to want. It's the best and most basic human desire.
Not really. It's really not. Wanting grandkids is
not. How do they sit there and let this happen?
Well, they're told that. Okay, so there are a lot of parents who let their kids do this, and they promote it and they encourage it, right? And there are a lot of parents, obviously, who are grooming their kids to doing this. But
grooming their kids, they're just being supportive.
Who are told either you have a dead kid or you have a trans kid. So it's really coming, I think, from higher up than just the parents. It's coming from the doctors. And it's coming from the.
In other words,
how does that work? Because I live in a community full of people that are incredibly anti-trans. So please explain to me, like, where the grooming comes in. Because if anything, I was groomed to repress my identity to begin with, if anything. And then I later rediscover myself and I find out that I actually am trans. And doing nothing about that is psychologically damaging. Like forcing someone to be something that they don't identify as, or they don't want to identify even, is psychologically harmful. Like really, you being uncomfortable in your body and presenting the way you don't want to present, it sucks. It's not fun. So of course you're gonna commit, and then when you do like change your appearance, change your identity and everything, and then people don't accept that, and even bully you for it, then that's even worse, right? It's just like, damn, I did all of this for nothing and people still see me as the way I don't want to be seen. My life sucks and I have no other support outside of that. Then suicide happens. It sucks. It's literally nothing more than just like self-perception. Because kids experience this at a young age without any like outside influence whatsoever. Because no one influenced me to want to be a girl at a young age. I wanted to be. I didn't even realize, I didn't even know what I was feeling. But like when I would see female characters on television and shit, I would just be like, Man, why do I feel like I want to be her? No one told me what being trans was. No one even talked about it. They didn't want me to learn about that shit. They hated it. So who groomed me into that? Who did?
If you don't cooperate and allow your child to be sterilized, your child will kill himself.
Yes, and there's not really any evidence for that.
There
Well,
is plenty of evidence for that. That's what happens.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that is, I guess, speaking for myself as a father, that is the one, you know,
There's definitely plenty of evidence for that. The thing is, the evidence that they see, they try to spin it and say that it's a result of transition regret, when it's not the case at all whatsoever. Like, we literally there's literally studies that suicide ideation goes down when people accept trans people for their identity. So like, they're just talking out their ass. They're just talking out of their ass.
You would do anything to prevent your child
Yes.
from wanting to kill himself.
Yes.
That is the scariest thing for any parent that there is.
Yeah, yeah, and they're told a lot of false information, and they're kind of just pulled in. And another theme that I see a lot is,
You see, it can never be that parents are just like totally chill with trans people existing, and they're totally chill if their child identifies as a girl and decides to wear a dress, and then maybe take puberty blockers if they so desire. If the doctors say that this is like right for them, if they get processed enough, they'll be. It can never be that they're totally chill with all this standard stuff. No, 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 no. No, they were tricked. You see, their regime told them that if they don't, their children will kill themselves. So they're forced to accept their children's identity. They're pretending it's coercive when it's really not. There are plenty of parents that are on board with it and they're totally chill with it, and they see nothing wrong with it whatsoever.
when a child starts out on this gender journey, whatever we want to call it, the process is always very rushed. Like the doctors and the
It's not.
social workers,
It's really not.
There's a lot of pressure to do this as quickly as possible. And
She's lying.
I think that
They do like they have to do therapy before they go through with any. I think they even have to do therapy before they go through with puberty blockers. Even it's like for 12 months. I mean, 12 months to like, and probably longer even before they even go through with any procedure to make sure that this is the right path for them. They do this for literally every step in regards to trans people. And in some cases, they do more processing than they probably should. Like, way more therapy and processing and evaluating than they should. That's like the standard. And I think that they're more pressure to do this because of all the right-wing media. I think they're even getting more, like, gatekeepy with it because of how right-wing media is trying to portray transness.
Scheduled in a lot of places as fast as they can get a mastectomy.
Exactly. You can't get a 35-year-old woman who wants a hysterectomy. It's really difficult to get. They have to go through a lot of different parts. They have to have consultations.
It's hard for everyone.
To psychologists.
It's not special for trans people.
And they don't just give up. They don't just do.
Probably harder for trans people, actually.
Women, but when it comes to gender ideology, they're doing hysterectomies on 16-year-old girls.
Do you see, without getting too personal, but do you see a spiritual component to any of this?
Jesus, please stop.
You don't have to answer that if you don't want.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I do. I don't think this makes sense at all.
No, it doesn't make any sense. And I think they're evil. And sometimes we try to.
There it is.
We try to break it down a lot, and we discuss like why this is happening, what's happening, and whatever. And I think sometimes the simplest answer is like they're just evil. They're bad people.
Yep, there it is.
They're just evil people. And they
said it. There she is.
And they want to groom kids.
Yeah.
Yep, got to get all those talking points out there. And they want to groom kids.
It seems to be
just trying to hammer it in, right? They want to groom kids. They want to groom kids. Don't know what it is, but they want to groom them.
So I'm assuming you had respect for doctors. I know that I always have. Why wouldn't you? They're doctors, right?
Yes.
But you've watched for 2 years videos of doctors participating in the destruction of children for no medically justifiable reason whatsoever.
What videos is he talking about?
Is that
Like, is there any video of like
Yes, 100%.
procedures
And
being
I think
done?
Not just the gender stuff, but in general with COVID. That changed people.
Oh yeah, I gotta get
medical
all of the
for good reason.
the lefty regime talking points in there.
So you do feel that way personally?
Yes, and I think I would say that a lot of people do.
You really?
After COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Someone told me today that vaccine acceptance not for the COVID vaccine, but for the conventional childhood vaccines is way down.
Oh yeah.
That a lot of it does make sense. I hadn't known that.
Yeah.
But
I'd
that
get
a
the
lot of
conspiracy
parents
theories
were
in
so
there.
Bothered by the COVID vaccine stuff, the lying around it, the harm that it's
Yeah.
done.
I mean, how could we trust these medical institutions ever again? I had the medical institutions.
Don't trust medicine or science. Trust dogmatism. We know what we're talking
for
about.
reporting publicly available videos from these hospitals' YouTube channels. They want kids. They're upset that I'm noticing that they're giving kids mastectomies, and I mean, how could you trust a medical institution that is promoting mutilating kids like that?
You wonder, like, the people who serve on the boards of these hospitals, you know, the local car dealer and all the local rich people who want to be on the board of Baylor or Vanderbilt or, you know, any of these hospitals, UCLA Medical Center, that are really, like, you know, throwing the big galas every year. Why don't they ever say anything about this, I wonder?
I think that it's really unpopular in our culture to be a conservative, and conservatives are treated
Good.
badly in our culture.
It should be. You should be. You hate minorities. You should be treated badly for hating minorities.
And I think a lot of them are probably scared of what would happen if they said that they disagree with these things, because, you know, this is what they have to do now. This is what they all have to agree with this, at least publicly. But I would not be surprised if a lot of them behind the scenes are actually horrified by it.
I was taught as a child, it's a very popular phrase when I was a kid, and I'm paraphrasing, but all that's necessary for evil to flourish is for good men to do nothing. And I remember thinking, well, that's a little melodramatic. But I don't think that is.
No, I don't. I think I think people are scared to speak up. Because,
You should really do something about this, guys.
I mean, as we saw with
Do you want to be a good man? Don't stand by and do nothing.
Do you hear this shit?
Like you've never
Seriously, do you hear this shit?
lucky. I don't run the risk.
Oh, but they're not inciting violence, right?
Because of whatever
What is there for them for people to
But,
do
like,
besides
a
violent
teacher, let's say,
attacks?
for example, who really doesn't agree with all of the propaganda, the LGBT propaganda in schools, you know, if they say anything, they might lose their job.
Yeah.
So they're
They lose their job. How often does that
An
happen?
amazing experience these last couple of years.
It doesn't happen often.
Thrust into places I can't imagine. You imagined you would.
Honestly, there
So
probably
as you
aren't
go
any
out,
examples. It would be all over the media for like a week.
Since
But,
you've been
no, I'm
through
sorry,
all
a
of
month.
this and you've learned so much, let's make 2 columns here.
Okay.
Good guys, bad guys. Let's start with the bad guys. Who are the people other than Taylor Renz who you think have been the most unfair and dishonest as you've watched this for the past?
In regard to my account?
Yeah, to your account, to media figures who are really not covering the news, who are really lying on purpose.
So obviously Tay.
Yes.
I would say Ben Collins is really high up there.
Yes. From NBC.
Yes. Previously.
Yes.
I don't know. I think he's unemployed now.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what the deal is. I think Yoel Roth.
Really?
He came out looking really bad from all those Twitter files,
Yes.
and he personally was on the team that made the decision to suspend my account.
What?
And
That motherfucker's been
knowing
protecting you for the longest, nigga. What the fuck? You should be thanking him. Are you kidding me?
Yoel came out looking really bad from the Twitter files, but it also related to my
Like he should have like gotten rid of you a long time ago. You should be thanking him for what he did.
there are some people that I feel like they don't deserve to be mentioned by name. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to give them.
I do. That's totally fine. You pick 3 ones.
He's afraid to name them. That's all it is.
People went out of their way to lie.
Yeah.
And to cover for evil.
Mm-hmm.
Now on the good side, you went through a lot and you did it alone. Is there anyone who?
No, she didn't. She didn't do it alone.
Yes.
Come on now.
First of all, you.
Please.
I really appreciate it, Tucker.
That's an easy one.
I will say this: when I was doxxed, someone from Ron DeSantis' team called me.
Really? Ron DeSantis, yeah, dude, she was alone.
She said,
a mainstream politician.
He said,
someone from that, a mainstream politician. Okay, sure, whatever.
To go to hide to stay, you can come to the governor's mansion.
What?
What?
We have a guest house for you, and
what?
Can come and stay as long as you need.
The governor of Florida did.
Yes, I can't even. I was almost in tears. Like,
she got all these privileges, and yet she's still framing herself as like the lonely victim, doing this all by herself, right?
And he took time out of his
being noticed by literal mainstream politicians and getting opportunity. Okay.
I mean, he's the governor of Florida, and to send someone to call me to make sure I'm safe.
What?
That's crazy.
Unreal.
And invite you to stay at his house?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad I asked that question.
Yeah.
I'm glad he asked that question too. Really tells you something, doesn't it?
So grateful. So grateful.
Well, that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Your whole story is an amazing story.
Yeah. I'll just give a shout out also.
Dark story.
Marjorie Taylor Greene called me.
Really?
She's like, She's like, I'm just seeing what you're going through, and I wanted to make sure you have my.
How is she framing herself as like an individual?
She's like, if you need anything,
and weak.
Call me. You have my number.
And like all the odds stacked against her favor when she's getting contacted by Marjorie Taylor Greene and people from Ron DeSantis and being on Tucker Carlson twice before this. If this doesn't tell you that she's a pathological liar, nothing will. Literally nothing will. You're already deep. You're deep in this shit now, buddy.
Really, really sweet.
Really? Did you know her?
No. We've like interacted on Twitter. Like I've retweeted some of her stuff. She's retweeted some of my stuff. But she like took it was a solid like half hour out of her day to call me the day I was doxxed and just be like, you're incredible. You're so brave. Stay strong. That meant so much to me.
I just love knowing that. I love knowing what people are really like.
Yeah.
And you don't really know.
You don't really get to know their personal side.
No, you don't.
And I'm so glad I could share this now. And you would and you yourself also you have also so much on your plate. You do your show. And
but that is what I do. I'm not an elected official.
Yeah.
Those are people who have actual responsibilities. They're just
and they took time
a talk show
out of their
Jesus
day
Christ.
to call me and to show that they cared. Those were the two that really stuck out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's my favorite question I've asked today because the answer is just so wonderful.
Save the best for last.
I thank you so much, and we will see you again and under your own name. I cannot wait to see your Chiron on the screen.
Yes.
Thank
There's
you.
big things coming. Thank you.
Great to see you. Tucker Carlson, today's name of the show. New episodes today's week
Wow.
on Fox Nation.
Okay.
Of course, we'll see
That
you
is-
relentlessly every
I can't tell you like this should be enough to tell you that she's a pathological liar, right? God damn, especially the last bit with the whole framing the entire LGBTQ community as like a fucking cult. When it's no more a cult than everyone in the world agreeing that the sky is blue. Like if accepting trans people is cult-like and saying trans people are valid is cult-like, then saying the sky is blue is cult-like as well. Saying grass grows is cult-like. Saying bears fish is cult-like. Saying birds fly is also cult-like. Yeah, we're all indoctrinated into this large worldwide cult that birds fly. Jesus Christ, what a bunch of dishonest fucks. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Yes, drink. Drink, my little insect friends. Yes, drink until your tummies are full. Take some back to your queen as a gift from me.